Guys, so we have arrived. We are at a very significant moment in time today. If you've been following my channel, you know I've been talking about this date for quite a while, March 2nd, 2022. Again, another 222 day. We have some really powerful, rare, significant astrological alignments happening today. And it is also our new moon in Pisces cycle beginning today. So the energy present today and these alignments that are being represented are going to be carrying through over the course of this next month as we close out our 2021 astrological lunar year and head towards our new moon in Aries, marking the beginning of our astrological year of 2022. We are wrapping it up this month, you guys, and this cycle is likely to be big. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 3rd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is my report for the new moon in Pisces, which is also coinciding with an exact Venus-Mars-Pluto conjunction and Mercury and Saturn an exact conjunction as well. This new moon is also in a conjunction to Jupiter, and this energy, there's going to be an expansive energy of truth that is happening all month long. The veil is really about to be lifted on some things and some awakening and some awareness of perhaps some illusions that we may have been operating under are about to just be totally shattered, and we're really about to be staring at some very higher octave truths about some things. We'll put it that way. So let's jump into the report. Let's talk about everything that is encompassed in this very, very climactic last lunar cycle of our 2021 astrological lunar year. So right up front, face value, based on, the way things have been presenting themselves over this past couple of months as we've been heading towards our 2022 astrological new year, the numerology has been real thick in correspondence to significant or critical astrological energetics that are helping us essentially to go through this vibrational shift, making this transition into the age of Aquarius. And today we have another significant numerological pattern showing up. We are on March 3rd, or March, which is the third month, the second day, 2022. So again, in the date today, in the numerology, we have 3222, 3 2s. The new moon occurring on this day, I feel like this is talking about things are going to start coming together over the course of this cycle. People are going to start coming together and creating. And these aren't just like regular relationships. These are much more like soul connection, divine union, soulmate energy, twin flame energy, like attract like energy, higher vibrational connections. That is the type of thing that I feel like is coming in. 3, this is a number of creativity and coming together, working together, just like groups of people integrating and working or participating in something together, community. And number 2, we've been talking about this. This is, balance and polarities, but also this divine union, this soulmate energy, this energy that can bring fulfillment and tap us into our true potential. And as a result, help us attract these like magnetic connections and relationships that bring this sense of balance and fulfillment as well. But polarity is also represented by the number 2, and there has been a lot of polarities going on in the energy lately. Things falling away, things coming in, things going out, like other things coming in to replace them. Very low lows, very high highs. Very dualistic nature to a lot of what we're experiencing right now. But the energy of this cycle, I really feel like we are exiting the matrix. That's what this chart feels like to me today. And the fact that this chart is happening for our new moon, for the last new moon of this astrological lunar year, which was really like the turning point in our transition into the age of Aquarius. This year, even if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, or you were around in the beginning when I started talking about the new moon in Aries for 2021, that energy of that year, really so much about facing our own darkness, breaking through toxic cycles and patterns that have been holding us back from recognizing the truth of the value within us and aligning with our authenticity and our authentic creative potential, and, pursuing a path in alignment with us that can lead to this sense of regained opportunities that we may have thought had been lost forever. That was a major theme of this entire astrological lunar year, was through imagination, lost opportunities regained. And through this, in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, these very difficult circumstances that have been really shaking us out of our comfort zone, forcing us to rise into our power and to change our mind, see things differently, start moving in a new direction. That is what this year has been trying to break us through and break us out of, because going into 2022, this is the year that wants to bring in these groupings, these pairings, these divine couplings and relationships and connections and partnerships that are in alignment with our authentic truth, so that we can really come together and raise each other up and really be supportive of the people in our lives and have that sense of mutual support as we're going through this rebirth process and coming back into alignment with the truth of our potential, and then growing through that even more and really trying to align and going through this process of aligning with our higher selves. That is what 2022 is trying to bring us, so that we can put ourselves in a place to tap the resources within us, to tap into our creative potential, to ignite this fire within us based on our own truth that can really help us to create something tangible that can support us monetarily, physically, financially, materially in our physical world. And also the age of Aquarius, that we can serve something that we uniquely are in ownership of, our unique talents, our unique gifts, to the greater good, to the overall whole, and fill a void that would be missing, forever if our own unique little seed never sprouted and flowered. We're all supposed to be coming into our own beautiful flowers, or, whatever your version of that is, throughout the course of this year. And everything, all of the weeds, all of the debris, all of the cement, all of the everything that has been blocking our ability to bloom is what is being removed, and what has been being removed, cracked apart, scrambled, whatever, throughout the course of this past year. And I just find it really very, very interesting that for our last lunar cycle, the Pisces cycle of this year, we have this crazy, intense powerhouse of planetary alignments that are specifically speaking to the exact processes that were introduced at this past astrological lunar new year, this past new moon in Aries. We had Venus and Pluto in exact square for that new moon in Aries. And now for our last lunar cycle, we have Venus, Pluto, and Mars in an exact conjunction. This is telling us that the challenges that we have been working to overcome this year, the things that we've been trying to break ourselves free from, the attachments that we have been holding on to out of any sense of lack inside of us, or not recognizing the worth of our own power, or a toxic relationship to our own selves that have been having us in these codependent dynamics, or attached or bound to things that are not good for us or not truly promoting our growth. We're at the point today where we have climbed that mountain, and we are overcoming these struggles that were spoken about at the beginning of this year. So this month, you guys, both on a personal level and also because of the symbolism, especially that is being represented in this chart today, on a global geopolitical level as well, I'm expecting a very, very powerful month of revelations, awakening, transformation, and definitely moving on from some of the things that we've been fighting, from some of the battles that we've been fighting, based on this eyes open, veil lifted, total change and maturation in the way that we are thinking, viewing, using our mind, the way that we're controlling our mind, all of this stuff playing into the energy going into this month. And yeah, it's big. So Let's talk about everything that we have encapsulated in this new moon energy. So let's get it started. Let's jump into the aspects. Before I get started with anything though, I should say that as an astrologer, as part of my work, as part of my analysis, I'm also always looking at this group of symbols called the Sabian symbols. And what those are, if you are unfamiliar, before I just jump in and start talking about them, they're a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever there's a planet at a specific point making an aspect, discharging a degree, we can look to the Sabian symbol, read the symbol. It just gives us more information about what this aspect might really be playing into in this constantly unfolding cosmic story, cosmic drama, cosmic blueprint that is always and perpetually carrying us through time and space. So I'm always looking at the Sabian symbols aside from the aspects and the transits that we have going on, just because they provide that extra layer of clarity for interpretation in this overall context of our energetic transcendence into the age of Aquarius, which you know is one of my primary focuses on my channel. And that being said, because I'm always reading the Sabian symbols alongside of the energetics, I'm also always rounding up a degree when I'm talking about the degree placement of the planets. And that is because energy really moves in waves. And so it's like by the time that a planet is at a specific degree, it's really already starting to pick up on like the undertones and the currents, the vibrations of the incoming wave of energy. And so it just makes more sense to read the energy that is like picking up, coming in, expressing, starting to get stronger, as opposed to the energy that is like waning out and not having such a strong effect anymore. So when I'm talking about degree placements, unless I'm saying, specific to the minute, when I'm just generally talking about degree placements, as a blanket statement for my work, I'm rounding up a degree because I'm looking at the Sabian symbols and I just feel like it makes more sense to read the energy that is incoming instead of the energy that is outgoing. So that is my Sabian symbol disclaimer. That being said, let's talk about the aspects real quick, and then we'll get into the symbols because they're telling a real powerful story about what is going on, what we could perhaps expect this cycle as well. So number one, though, you guys, we have this sun-moon conjunction. That's what a new moon is. The new moon, this is a seed planting time. This is the beginning of a phase, the beginning of a cycle, a brand new, fresh start. This is when we are setting our goals, setting our intentions, making our wishes, doing our visualizations, doing our manifestation practices and techniques, and the energy that is in place for a new moon. This is what grows, begins to express, and come into its full fruition over the course of the lunar cycle as we go through this entire new moon in Pisces, heading towards the new moon in Aries. When we get to the full moon, that will be the fullest expression of this energy and the seeds that we planted with the new moon. But we are in new moon energy right now, and so the energy present today, this specific chart, is going to be carrying out and unfolding over the course of the next cycle, the next 4 weeks. This full moon that's coming up, the full moon in Virgo, you guys, I have a feeling is going to be really, really, really intense and powerful. So that's going to be a big one too. But today, our new moon itself, the sun and the moon are coming into an alignment at exactly 12 degrees and 7 minutes of Pisces. This is happening at 2:38 p.m. Eastern time. So 12 degrees and 7 minutes of Pisces. I'm rounding up. So I'm looking at 13 degrees of Pisces today for the placement of this specific activation. Now, Jupiter is currently at 15 degrees of Pisces. That puts our new moon in Pisces itself within a 2-degree orb conjunction to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter is the planet that rules truth. When we have a new moon lining up in the sign of Pisces, which rules our spiritual connection, the spirit world, like divinity, divine, and also illusion and delusion and things that have been, murky or foggy or confusing or hidden from us, or things that we have been trying to hide or run away from, in a conjunction to Jupiter, this is the veil lifted. This is a unavoidable, unescapable truth. Pisces a lot of times is a sign that likes to avoid and escape from things in a desire to sort of just merge back into that oneness and wholeness and, stay in these really higher octave feelings. but a lot of the stuff we may have been having to navigate lately may have really been interfering with that desire. And this new moon is not going to allow us to hide from the truth of any situation. And, Jupiter, Sagittarius, this is also about freedom. This is a truth will set you free type of new moon as well. And not only is the new moon itself in the conjunction to Jupiter, this new moon is also in almost an exact sextile to Uranus, the planet ruling awakening, the great awakening, and our energetic transcendence into this Aquarian age right now. Basically, everything that this past year has been pushing for, Uranus has played a major role in that. And with Uranus in the sextile and Jupiter in the conjunction to our new moon in Pisces today, this is the truth will set you free and very much great awakening energy that we are culminating this lunar year of 2021 from an astrological perspective with big revelations, big awakenings, and a lot of it is having to do with our mindset. The Sabian symbol of the degree where this is occurring, 13 degrees of Pisces, this is intense. The Sabian symbol is a sword used in many battles, is now in a museum. So this is talking about, first of all, this period of time over this next month, we may be really laying to rest some of the thought patterns, some of the perceptions, some of the negative feelings from the past that maybe have been keeping us in a perpetual battle against something or someone. A sword used in many battles, now laid to rest in a museum. To me, when I hear sword, I mean, this obviously, could be talking also about like actual like a ceasefire or an end of fighting in some type of a way. But I also feel like the swords are very representative symbolically of our thoughts and our ideas and our perspective and our words also. Used in many battles, now in a museum. Maybe this cycle or what we've learned to coming to this point in time is showing us that we really need to change the way that we're using our words, using our thoughts, using our mind, the perspective that we're having. And maybe we really need to turn the page and start going in a different direction. I really feel like the new moon at this degree is definitely talking about lifting the veil and awakening us to the truth of any illusion that we've been operating under. Definitely a shift in viewpoint and perspective, and realizing maybe that the way that we have been acting or doing something or another has been actually perpetuating to more trouble for us and not working in our best interest. So it's time to like lay that sword down and go in a new direction, sort of like retire our past tactics and like put them to rest. The way that I'm sort of reading this energy. And I think this is something that we might be coming to terms with like throughout the course of this entire month. But number 2, in terms of the aspects today, we do have Mercury and Saturn in an exact conjunction today. We had this energy in effect yesterday as well. This is definitely, well, for one, it could have us feeling like a much greater sense of responsibility, obligation, burden. Things may seem a bit heavy, a bit serious. This is maturing our mind. This is asking us to really control our mind and use our thoughts constructively. This is helping us to plan, strategize how we're going to lay foundations to move forward in the future. This is helping us really pay attention to details and to really focus and concentrate and to use our mind in a very refined and controlled, as I said, way in the plans that we are making moving forward and in the situations that and the conversations that we are navigating now. This is a much more controlled, restricted, withheld verbal mental energy. It's like we are definitely thinking before we are speaking in this energy. This is very practical, grounded, down to earth thoughts, grounding our thoughts and our visions for the future in the sign of Aquarius into reality and helping us to lay structures, lay foundations that we can really build something solid, long-term, and enduring with going forward. Very critical also thought processes, perhaps very judgmental thought processes. Those are some things that we want to watch out for. But this is giving us a very mature perspective on things. And, as it's playing into this new moon in the conjunction to Jupiter and the sextile to Uranus and Taurus, it's like what we may be awakening to right now may really be sobering us up in one way or another and causing us to really take some very serious consideration about the direction that we want to take things going forward at this point in time. We may in some way feel as though the weight of the world is riding on our shoulders and we have to make some type of decision. This is also very heavy decision energy. And again, these polarities are noted in the energy, and they have been throughout the entire lunar cycle that we are coming out of as of today in Aquarius. But again, with the 222s being so prominent for the new moon of this cycle, there is the sense of duality and decisions and choices that is very present in this energy. And we also, they're also Mercury and Saturn conjoining at 20 degrees of Aquarius. Again, that 2, and these 2 planets representing perhaps this duality, one of them being Mercury ruling Gemini, where the black moon also is right now. This could also be helping us to conquer our fears and to overcome our lower instincts, our lower thought tendencies in some type of a way. But there is definitely we could just feel under some type of pressure with this Saturn-Mercury conjunction, pressure to make a decision perhaps with this Saturn-Mercury conjunction alongside throughout this entire cycle playing out, since it's the energy that is imprinting for our new moon. But again, it's like with this massive truth, expansion, awakening, lifting the veil, dissolving the clouds, the fog, really bringing any illusions that we have been operating under, or any way that we've been being deceived or manipulated, or any false narratives that we've been operating under that have perhaps been causing us to be thinking and acting and perceiving reality one way. It's like we're about to go through some major shift that causes us to take perhaps a very radical turn and start seeing things from an entirely different perspective. It is awakening. I mean, that's what this energy this whole year has been pushing for, and is very, very strong in this chart of today as well. And one more thing that I want to say about Mercury and Saturn being together today as a part of this chart, like I said, 20 degrees of Aquarius, the Sabian symbol of that degree, you guys, 20 Aquarius, a large white dove bearing a message. Mercury is the messenger planet. Jupiter is actually the planet of expansion, blowing things up, supersizing things, supersizing truth, what I was just talking about. And now we have the degree placement. And mind you, this is divinely timed and ordained too, because at the moment of the new moon, when the sun and the moon are exactly aligned, to the minute, Saturn has just moved to 20 degrees of of Aquarius. Saturn is at, I'm rounding up, so it's actually 19 degrees, but we round to 20. But Saturn is at 19 degrees and 0 minutes of Aquarius, just at this degree. It had to be 20 degrees of Aquarius for this alignment today. And that Sabian symbol, a large white dove bearing a message. There is some message coming through, you guys, that is really changing our perspective, helping us to make a decision, or presenting a decision that needs to be made, or sobering us up, having us taking things really serious in some type of a way. But definitely there is some type of truth, clarity, awakening, message of peace too, and that restores our inner peace, or our sense of purity or innocence or love in some type of a way coming through with that lineup of Mercury and Saturn at this degree for this new moon all month long. So we have a sword used in many battles, now in a museum, and a large white dove bearing a message coming through for those 2 positions of those aspects. Now, the third thing that we need to talk about today, you guys, I have been waiting to talk about this alignment for a while. It is a huge, huge day. Even if it wasn't the new moon, I would be making a hypercharged, super big, explosive, big deal about the energy, this last aspect that I'm about to talk about of this day. We have Venus, Mars, and Pluto coming together in an exact conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. I don't know when the last time was that Venus and Mars and Pluto all came together at the same degree. And mind you, this is not an insignificant degree. This is a hugely significant degree, because this degree, 28 degrees of Capricorn, where Pluto is right now, is marking the Pluto return of the United States. This is the degree where Pluto was on July 4th, 1776, when the United States was born as a country. Pluto's back in that exact same position. And that is also the position, the exact degree where this conjunction between Venus, divine feminine, love, true love, and Mars, divine masculine, passion and energy, are lining up, willpower, courage, motivation, lining up today. So this is representing something really huge, something very profound, something very powerful on our individual personal lives and also collectively on the world stage. And after this moment in time passes, there is about to be a tremendous sense of empowerment that is returning to the human spirit and to the collective of humanity. Pluto rules death and rebirth, purge, regeneration, purification, and rebirth into, it's the phoenix rising energy. It is breaking things down to their most fundamental basic level so that they can grow back up into something even more beautiful. It is all about power. Pluto is the heights and the depths of power in all of its forms and all of its capacities. Pluto is where we give our power away and where we manipulate and control in order to take power when we feel that we don't have enough inside of us. Pluto is the deep recesses of our psyche and the toxic dynamics that we bind ourselves to out of any sense of a lack of power internally. That is really how this whole dynamic with Pluto works. And because of these things, it has a tendency to resonate to and bring up themes of toxicity and abuse and power and control dynamics to a negative octave. But the point of Pluto energy is honestly always to break us down to the point of showing us our own power and what we can endure and what we can overcome, and the sense of internal self-powerment that gives us within us to overcome, to come back into our own power and to be a higher octave of that experience, and to not actually abuse power in the ways that may have brought us down to our depths in the first place. It's about breaking things down and building them back up even better, even stronger, even more resilient, and even more powerful at the end of the day. Venus, this is love, this is relationships, this is partnerships, this is comfort, this is luxury, this is beauty, this is innocence and purity and femininity and the divine feminine archetype, the ability to receive and to love unconditionally and to feel worthy and to feel valuable and to know that you're deserving. And then we have Mars. This is the divine masculine. This is courage and willpower and stamina and endurance and motivation and inspiration and creativity and passion and a desire to defend and to protect. And, Mars also rules war, also rules battle. And because of this, Pluto and Mars together, we could be seeing a lot of more warlike things going on right now, a lot of more destructive things appearing on the surface as part of the breakdown energy that is necessary for this alchemization and this transcendence and this rebirth. But with Venus in the mix, this is really all about the resurrection of our heart and the resurrection of the divine feminine archetype supported by the divine masculine in this ability to truly come back into a new recognition and realization and relationship with and of the value that we truly hold inside of us, the worth that represents, the resources that represents, and the creative ability and abundance that represents, and our ability to utilize what we hold inside of us and align with that value and with that love and with that creative energy and potential, coupled with Mars's passion and desire and motivation and willpower to create, to conceive, to fertilize, to begin a process of birthing something that can truly be beautiful and rewarding and successful in our physical world, in this physical paradigm. This is happening in the sign of Capricorn. This energy is helping us to from an integrated state of inner wholeness, conquer our own demons, release the things that we have been bound to that have prevented us from going on our own hero's journey and coming into our own self-mastery and the power of our own authentic creative potential to be the self-made individual that creates their own reality in conjunction with God and universe. And that is the trajectory of humanity for this age of Aquarius. Couple thousand years or 1,500 years, 1,000 years, 500 years out into this age of Aquarius, that is what things will look like. Self-actualized individuals working together to serve each other and to attract and reflect wholeness and fulfillment and abundance and unconditional love. That is why this point in time is recreating this golden age energy and this Aquarian era, this age of Aquarius, the age of knowledge, the age of self-mastery, the age of self-empowerment, the age of co-creation with God and universe, pouring out the vessel that is filled by the divine and knowing how to work with the energies and the frequencies. That's what this is all pushing us towards. And that is really what is being represented by this chart today and this new moon as this culmination point of this entire astrological lunar cycle. And this Venus, Pluto, Mars conjunction is a very, very significant turning point. Okay. And again, even on a geopolitical level, even on a global level, things may begin to change. The people are becoming self-empowered. The revolutionary American spirit is being reborn. We are taking back our power from the places that we gave it away out of a lack of understanding that we never needed it in the first place, or out of any sense of fear. That is also what we are doing with this. We are slaying the demons. We are overcoming our fears. We are realizing that this sense of self-empowerment, this sense of self-worth, this inner love that we hold in our heart, and the faith that we have, the truth of our faith that we're waking up to with the sun in conjunction to Jupiter in Pisces in the aspect to Uranus today. That is so much more powerful than anything that fear could take from us. That is really all we need to be okay in this reality and to create the experience and the life that will bring us that sense of fulfillment and allow us to unlock our potential and really move forward and make our dreams into reality, regain those opportunities that we may have thought were lost forever. And, be doing so through the pursuit of our own passions and desires based on this love that we are reacquainting with inside of us, and therefore that we are attracting externally as well. And, I talk about this 222 energy and these divine connections and these soul connections coming in, but they're coming in as a magnetic attraction as a result of the purification and the new relationship and the new understanding of the value and love that we hold inside of us. It's like universe is making us into these vessels of worth and value and love, and we're recognizing and feeling it and we're living it. And as a result of that is what is bringing in these true and proper connections to our life. And that is also why the polarity, the duality, the flip side of this, all of the other things are falling away, because our vibration is shifting and we are no longer compatible with the things that we may have been compatible before under our previous mindset, with our previous attitude, with our previous, subconscious contents and our previous subconscious algorithms. That's what a lot of this is about too, is breaking us out of these perpetual subconscious loops that we have acquired as like our programming throughout the course of our lives. We are gaining a conscious awareness of it, taking control of our mind, Mercury and Saturn together in Aquarius, breaking ourselves free from this thought matrix, which is, like I said, we are Neo today, you guys. Like, we are taking back our power. The matrix is cracking with this energy, and it's cracking because humanity is awakening to it. We are seeing the truth. We are seeing through the veil. We are seeing through the fog, through the mist. We are seeing beyond the curtain, and it is breaking us through on a vibrational level, and that is going to translate into a physical material level. I mean, this conjunction, Pluto, Venus, Mars, it's happening in the sign of Capricorn, earth sign, manifestation, physically grounding. Also, government, ruler, authority, bosses, long established mechanisms of power and control breaking down as the human spirit, this revolutionary spirit at this degree, busts through this matrix of power and control that has been established for a long period of time. Capricorn, I'm just reading the energetics. I'm not analyzing anything other than that. I'm specifically reading the stars, reading the placements, the signs, and talking about what that translates to in our physical reality. And then, we have those Sabian symbols in effect as well. And I will read some more of the Sabians in a minute because they're also very significant. But another thing I want to say before I fail to mention it, for this divine conjunction, Mars and Venus, divine masculine, divine feminine, taking down the Lord of the underworld, taking down the power and control, long-standing established dynamics that have been keeping us out of our power and our ability to pursue our organic, authentic passions and desires and really truly live and thrive from this place of creative potential, authenticity, and fulfillment. This is also in nearly an exact trine to the north and the south nodes of the moon in Taurus and Scorpio. This is significant. Taurus is ruled by Venus, one of the planets in that trio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, the other two planets in that duo. And these are trines and sextiles. These are positive aspects, facilitating things. This lineup is so fated. This is such a divinely ordained moment in time coming from this cosmic blueprint. What is happening now is directly related to helping us tap into our inner resources, the truth of our authentic potential, so that we can build the things, the state inside of us and the state outside of us that is going to help us attract, magnetize, and create this experience of fulfillment going forward. Now, twos also can represent hard work. This is not an easy process. Yes, these things are divinely ordained, and yes, they are falling into place in this moment, but Mercury and Saturn together, this is hard work. This is a lot of hard work, concentration, focus, strong control over our minds and thoughts. This is not something that, we surrender to the changes that are happening now, and we actively work on keeping our mind right, keeping our focus right, making our plans, keeping our vision, maintaining our thoughts, aligning with the truth, aligning with that path ahead, staying with our integrity, staying with our morals, not straying from our personal path. It does require the effort, the consistency, the dedication. Mercury in the conjunction to Saturn, this trio, this divine conjunction, Mars, Venus, and Pluto happening in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. We have to stay focused. But other than that, it is all happening. It is all falling into place. Really, really crazy. And the other aspect of this, the South Node in Scorpio, that South Node in Scorpio being represented by Mars and Pluto in the conjunction of Capricorn. We could really see some establishments falling, you guys, with this, if there have been abuses of power abuses of power going on. We could see some establishments falling. We could also see some major destruction going on in our own individual lives that is helping us to release ourselves from some long-standing, long-held toxic attachments. That is another thing that we could see for sure with this energy. And there may be some painful losses associated with it, but that is where that focus, that is where that work comes in, and the trust and the faith as well with the new moon in Pisces, the sign of spiritual connection, conjunct Jupiter, faith, belief, trust, truth, and in the aspect to Uranus, awakening and rectifying things, writing things for us. This is definitely heading in the right direction. So rectification with the truth of our authentic selves and potential, and a release of toxic attachments. Very, very much relating to our future trajectory, the path ahead. Without this piece of the puzzle, without this key being turned, without this activation happening, we cannot move forward. So very, very significant, very, very important. And again, this energy is going to be unfolding all month long as this lunar cycle unfolds. So let's go back now. Let's talk about the Sabian symbols for a minute. there could be some big time world stuff going on this cycle, you guys, like some really surprising stuff, finding out some stuff we maybe never thought was possible. There could be a lot having to do with like politics and geopolitical, financial, economic, global issues going on. Number one, like I said, we have the sun at 13 degrees of Pisces, a sword used in many battles and now is in a museum. I already talked a bit about what this energy can translate to. We have the earth at 13 degrees of Virgo. A powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. So what is happening on the ground today and this cycle? What is the state of things on earth? A powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. That could be translated in, a few different ways, but also not. It's pretty straightforward. And it is, again, bringing in this sense of perhaps some political hysteria going on and maybe some leaders emerging through it that might be happening over the course of this month. Of course, we have the moon in alignment with the sun today, 13 Pisces, a sword used in many battles, now rests in a museum. Again, either laying down the swords and taking a different direction, going in a different direction, pursuing something else, letting some issue rest, or this change, the shift in mindset. Changing our perspectives or our tactics and no longer pursuing something that is causing us to fight these same battles over and over again. The degree of Mercury and Saturn today, 20 Aquarius, as I said, a large white dove bearing a message. What's the message going to be? What is this truth going to be? But whatever it is, it seems as though it's somehow restoring peace in some type of a way, even if it's peace through some type of like very abrupt change or some type of like wool being ripped off of our eyes experience. It seems to be restoring peace in some type of way. The sword being laid down, this is also perhaps talking about a break in conflict in some type of a way as well. And the powerful statesman is overcoming the state of political hysteria as well. So again, this is talking about being able to like laying something down, like laying something to rest. Those things. Large white dove bearing a message, some type of big information, definitely some type of truth, bringing potentially peace coming through this cycle. The position of the Venus, Mars, Pluto conjunction, USA Pluto return degree, 28 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is a large aviary. Again, just like sort of the degree with Mercury and Saturn today, a large white dove. This is a large aviary. Again, large being emphasized, and the new moon itself is in conjunction to Pluto, the biggest planet, the planet that rules supersizing things and expanding things. So there may be this might be a really, really big message that's coming in, a large aviary. This could translate to, again, birds, communication, messaging. Very, very big message that's coming in that is spreading quickly, being sort of sung through the treetops or something like that. But also, I feel like this could be talking about us breaking free from any cage that we have been held in. A large aviary, Pluto, destruction, rebirth, Venus and Mars, pursuing, true love and passion, also war and peace, but also like divine creative potential, manifestation potential, conception, fertilization, true authentic love and fulfillment. I feel like this could be symbolic as well at this degree for us breaking our minds free from any cage that we may have been holding them within, or that we may have been viewing reality in at this point in time. So, with them at this degree in the context of these other symbols as well, there is just so much mental energy wrapped up in the symbolism. We're talking about swords, we're talking about birds twice, and I really feel like this is indicating a shift in perspective that frees our mind, that changes everything for us in some type of a way. We have Jupiter today, 15 degrees of Pisces, in that conjunction to the sun and the moon for the new moon, an officer drilling his men in a simulated attack. Things may not be as they really appear, you guys. If we are feeling under attack in some type of a way in the energy right now, we need to realize that it may not be as it actually appears. This is talking about a simulated attack. This is not something that is actually real, that is actually happening. So just something to keep in mind. And this is this very expanded energy. There could be a lot of really defensive behavior being exhibited or going on right now, but it is not necessarily the real thing. It is not necessarily how it is being presented. And we really need to try to maintain an awareness with that. If we are navigating any type of situation over this cycle where we may feel personally attacked, or we may be, really afraid or concerned in regards to anything like that, especially with all of this geopolitical stuff, political stuff being spoken about. There may be another side to the story. Things may not be as they appear with Jupiter at this degree for the new moon and in conjunction to the sun. And we also, another thing, we have Chiron right now, who is actually like the midpoint between the sun and moon and Jupiter in their conjunction Pisces today, and Uranus in Taurus. We have Chiron right now at 11 Aries, the ruler of a nation. This again is talking about that Capricorn energy. This is talking about what is falling right now, what is breaking down to be rebirthed in a more authentic, genuine form that can vibe with these incoming energetics to help carry us forward. This is talking about some type of prominence being placed on leadership at this point in time. And this is just coming through across the board too. Mercury in the conjunction to Saturn, who rules Capricorn, where this three-party grand Venus, Mars, Pluto saga alignment is happening today. Something to do with authority, governments, establishments, leaders, a powerful statesman overcoming a state of political hysteria, a sword used in many battles, laid to rest in a museum. Something could be going on along these lines. That's all, I can really say about that. And the last thing that I want to say in terms of the Sabian symbols today, we do have the north node of the moon, a Spaniard serenading his senorita. Now remember, the north node is in trine right now, ruled by Venus in Taurus to this triplicity of planets in Capricorn. So what the direction that we are heading now is to follow the song of our heart. It is trying to bring us on a frequency resonance based level music into an authentic alignment with how we can attract these true soul connections coming in. It is trying to bring us our fulfillment. And the south node, Indians making camp in a new territory in this sextile to this triplicity of planets today in Capricorn with Mars and Pluto, both rulers of Scorpio. The things that we are losing are so that we can move on to a new territory in a new direction in alignment with the song of our heart. So it's all happening for our benefit. This is the time, this is the moment. This is what it's all been building towards, and this is our time to rise. This, again, I just keep feeling like we are Neo. Like, I feel like this is our Neo moment, and we are ready to wake up, break free, stand in our power, fight back, and take back what is ours, in alignment with the truth of the value that we hold inside, and therefore the value that we expect to experience externally. And that value is based on this authentic alignment and the potential that we know we have within us to cultivate and create and to give and to receive and to exist in this state of fulfillment and abundance that inspires others to do the same. And it creates this massive snowball effect that is how humanity comes into alignment with and actually forms, creates, and builds the age of Aquarius. So that's what we got going on, you guys. That is what I have to say for this really, really significant, powerful, critical moment in time, new moon cycle. It's so synchronistic in so many ways. I can't possibly list them all. This is a magical moment. This is divinely orchestrated. This may not feel like it on the surface. That is the flip side of this energy. This is it is some very, very, very dark and heavy energy. Saturn and Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Pluto in Capricorn. But we are being blessed with this beautiful alignment of the sun and the moon in Pisces in the conjunction to Jupiter, expansive truth, spiritual awareness, in the sextile to Uranus and Taurus, waking us up to the truth of our authentic potential and our ability to create, stabilize, and produce for ourselves. The pieces are falling into place, and what we are losing now, the pieces that are falling to the ground, we need to let them go, because universe is trying to bring us to a point where we can begin to embody, attract, and manifest and experience a whole nother level of what it could be like to be a human, really, is what this is. It's like we're in the very beginning phases of getting some like superpowers activated, actually. It's like other areas of our brain, you know how they always talk about we only use like such a very small percentage of our brain? To me, it's really like some of the latent areas of our mind are beginning to wake up. And what this is activating within us will really change the way. It's an evolution. I mean, that's what it is. It's a conscious evolution of humanity moving into this new energy. But we can't do that if we are still holding on to and embodying and attached to these lower frequencies out of this sense of internal lack, essentially, is what it boils down to in any way. Because if we are not resonating energetically in the right place, we just can't be responsible with the evolution of abilities and what that translates into in terms of our ability to actually create and manifest in this reality moving into this new energy. So we're being purified, we're being purged, we are being refined so that we can be activated to become vessels of positive creation and then wake others up through example and inspiration as we head towards this collective revolution of the human spirit and the reawakening of the divine feminine, the divine masculine within us, you guys. We're taking down the Lord of the underworld today. We are throwing off the chains, throwing off the shackles from all that has bound us away from our natural state, and we are getting ready to truly soar into our true potential as we close out this year. So that's what I got for the energy today, you guys. I'm not doing cards today because this was way too long. Sorry about that, but I've really been waiting to talk about this moment for a while, and it lined up with the new moon, so it was going to be an extra long report today anyways. I really thank you guys so much for being here. I really love each and every one of you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I really hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you something that is valuable to you as you navigate today and the energetics throughout the course of this next month. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I really love your comments. I appreciate your feedback. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, a TikTok, and a website if you're interested in any of that stuff. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. I will have a lot more to say, I'm sure, about whatever is happening with the astrology, so you don't want to miss it. Wishing everybody a beautiful new moon. Happy Neo Day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.